here as well. We've got our YouTube and our Facebook going. There we go. Hey, Judy and Luz, how are you? Cindy and Sandy. Sandy's hacking too. Oh no. Y'all, if you are new to the channel, welcome. I'm Julie Samako, owner of Southern Charm Wreaths, where we make beautiful wreaths and teach you how to make and sell them. We're going to be making a winter wreath. I just love winter. First of all, raise your hand, give me an amen if you like a wreath on your door all year round. And which is me. I'm in the South. Most people who are in the South have a wreath on their door all year round, not just Christmas. And I know if you are up north, depending, Midwest, up north, I don't know. No, Midwest would be the middle. You know what I mean? Up north, sometimes they don't put a wreath on their door except for Christmas. And when I heard people say that, I was like, what are you talking about? I didn't even know that was a thing. So let me know in the comments, do you put a wreath on your door all year round? Or at least you would like to. Because it's just fun to see everybody's different comments on that. Hey, Mary and Pickens, South Carolina. That's right, in my neighborhood. Hello again, everybody over on the YouTube. So we're going to be making a wreath that I like to put on my door after Christmas. When we take our Christmas decor down, do you feel like your house is naked? We have all of our little knickknacks and Santa Clauses and elves and trees, depending who you are and how much you love Christmas. Then you take all the Christmas down and you're like, okay, everything feels really naked. So this is a solution for a wreath on your door after Christmas. I call a winter wreath. If you are looking for, hey Kim, so she paid for Wreath 101. Kim, contact us. Go to info@southerncharmwreaths.com, and here is my contact form right here. So you can contact me on my website and we will make sure we help you find it. You should have received an email, but we'll help you out, so no problem. All right, so Kim, go there if you need help. And if y'all don't know what she's talking about, it's Wreath 101. It's my beginner level course for people who are trying to figure out this whole beautiful art of wreath making. And that's what it is. It's an art. And the reason I say it's an art is because everybody's wreath is different, almost like a canvas, right? Almost like a canvas. You can put anything on your wreath that you want to. I'm just going to type it here. Put anything on your wreath that you want to, but if you don't know where to start, that's my course for you, for just beginner wreath makers. Teaches you things like elements, mechanics, little tips on how to work more effectively, efficiently. And, you know, for example, one of the tips I give is making sure your table height is up high enough so you're not like scrouching over. Which helps a lot when I started wreath making, making sure that you have your area that you're making in a conducive area of your home, you know, just little things like that, storage tips, all in that course is Wreath 101. It's not live. You don't have to tune in at a certain time to watch it. You can watch it at your leisure whenever you want to, maybe this weekend by the Christmas tree. So anyway, what we're going to be doing is a winter wreath. So if you are looking at winter wreaths or you want to make one for yourself, this is the tutorial for you. Winter wreaths are huge and popular in my Etsy shop. And so I try to give you guys tips on things that are beneficial for your own making and your own, if you sell on Etsy as well. Sandy's been putting wreaths up on her door all year. Jennifer finally got around to putting her Christmas wreath up. She's been busy making. Anybody else in that boat? We're like the cobbler. Is it the is it the cobbler? What is that little, the tail of the cobbler? Never had time for his shoes for his own family. Yeah, but then that's kind of like us, right? So then we are last to put our wreaths on our front door and get our homes decorated for Christmas and all of that. So it's sort of like that. I can totally relate to that. All right, let me zoom. I'm just going to pull this down a little bit so you can see a little bit better of the wreath table. And we'll zoom in just a little bit more. So here is a 24-inch Christmas wreath. You're going to want to make sure that you go through and you fluff all of your needles. That's so important when you're making a wreath. You're going to want to touch every little needle, pull it up and out so that it gives it some dimension. This is an elevated wreath. We talk about different types of Christmas wreaths. I've got a YouTube channel and also more information on my blog about the different types of Christmas wreaths. But this is an elevated wreath, meaning the center is taller and it just pops out a little bit more, giving it a little bit more dimension. So that's what we're going to be working with. I am pulling stuff out of my stash that for me says winter. Right here is, we're going to use this, it's called a Veronica leaf, but it reminds me a little bit of lamb's ear. Do y'all know what lamb's ear is? That, you know, the fuzzy leaf. I don't have any lamb's ear in my garden. I don't have anything in my garden right now. We just moved. So we need a garden. I might pull this over this way. So this is, it's just Veronica leaf. It's got this little frosty effect. I don't know if you can see it, but just some of the glitter just shines, okay? So it's not heavy glitter. I know when I'm making winter wreaths for my Etsy shop, my customers don't really like to see the glitter for winter. And I don't blame them. They're probably done with glitter. They're probably done sweeping up the glitter and stuff from Christmas, and so I totally understand that. And that's why when I choose items for a winter wreath, I really try to limit the glitter, but I think some glitter's okay. Some glitter is okay. Laura is selling her wreaths. Angela's putting her tree up this Sunday. Angela, what's your theme? What are you going to be doing? And who does a different theme every year? Doing a different theme every year can get expensive, can't it? Lamb's ear spreads like mint, says Linda. Be careful. Okay, so if y'all don't know what she's talking about, I do, because I made the mistake of planting mint in my yard. First of all, I am not, you know, a green thumb by any means. So I didn't know what I was doing. But all I wanted to do was keep the mosquitoes away. And somebody was saying you could plant mint around your patio and it would help you and blah, 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 blah. But after it took off, man, we could not get rid of that stuff. But hello, every time the hubs would go mow the grass, it smelled like a big pack of gum. It was amazing smell in the yard, but it does grow like a weed. But lamb's ear it's got that little texture. And lamb's ear is super, super popular on Etsy right now as a wreath and a keyword. So that's why I'm making it with something that looks like lamb's ear. All right, so I'm just going to take this. Again, y'all, you can get greenery like this wherever they're selling your Christmas stuff right now. So now's the time to really stock up on your items for a winter wreath. So go now when you start seeing sales for the evergreen. The other thing to consider is when you're making a winter wreath, just take a look at nature. That's how I always know what to put in. Like, what is growing in nature in the winter? which would be pine, you know, boxwood, anything that's considered evergreen in nature is what you could put in a winter wreath right now. Berries, what else, y'all? Help me out. It's hard to think when I'm on camera. Of course, as soon as the camera's over, I'm like, oh, I should have said that. Glitter makes it feel frosty. I agree, Carol. I did spray paint the wreath, and that's a great question. Great eye, lady. Great eye. Just give it a little winter effect. All right, I'm just going through and placing my stems in. Oh, camellias are another really pretty. And yeah, that's one for winter, isn't it? Magnolia. Y'all, are magnolias blooming in winter? I guess it depends on the area. I'm pretty sure they're not blooming here, but I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure they're blooming in the summer here. But, you know, maybe you're right. Again, I said I'm not the green thumb. Hey, Tanya, good evening. You're not missing anything. We're just getting started. Again, if you are interested in the beginner wreath making, I've got that course, Wreath 101. It's currently $10 off. It's less than $10. It's just a beginner level course on just my expert knowledge, things that I wish I knew when I first started wreath making. And this is a beautiful craft. Believe it or not, there are a lot of wreath makers that are making wreaths as a hobby, just like there are scrapbookers. Is that right? People who scrapbook is what I should say. Jewelry makers, painters, and yes, wreath making. I've been trying to educate and give more content for you guys so that you can enjoy this wonderful hobby of wreath making. And then some people have turned it into a little side business. Let's see, magnolias are still green in Houston. Amaryllis, ooh, that's another good one. That's another good one. The greenery I'm using is called Veronica. Trying not to make a big mess with the glue. I'm just using my glue pot. Over here, we talk about glue and what types of glues and stuff that I use in my Wreath 101 course too. So let me ask y'all this. When do you start your baking for Christmas? When do you start Christmas cookies and stuff like that? And can y'all believe that Christmas is just, what is it, like 2 weeks away? Oh my gosh. 2 weeks away. Is that right? Am I thinking that right? It is crazy. In some regard, we wanted it to come fast because we want to get this year over with, right? Hashtag COVID. But now that it's here, it's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe Christmas is here. And I feel like I'm going to forget to do the things, like bake the cookies and stuff, because I'm so busy trying to finish up last minute stuff at work, stay healthy, all of it. It just came so fast. And so there are certain things that I do, or I bake, I should say, during the holidays that just, my kids love it. Like it's their tradition. That's what reminds them that it's Christmas time. And we always make these certain cookies. Oh gosh, Maureen on YouTube is talking about how her glitter got into her Thanksgiving stuffing. That is hilarious. Well, My dogs have pooped glitter before. That was an eye-opener. Glitter can be tracked everywhere. Caroline, you're baking your cookies already? See, this is the things I need to know, ladies. These are the things I need to know. Can you freeze that? First of all, I would have to freeze it because then I would eat it before it's what I was going to say, Christmas, before it's Christmas. I'd probably have it eaten already. So I need, yeah, are you allowed to freeze that stuff, and will it thaw and be good to eat? But we always make a banana nut bread for eating on, before we start opening presents Christmas morning, and then the cookies. So I got to get the baking. And I got to finish my Christmas shopping. Haven't even began wrapping. I know I'm not the only one. Please tell me I'm not the only one. Vicki starts baking around the 15th. It's coming up. Hello, Grace from Maryland. All right, just working around. You can see how this is already changing, isn't it? It's already getting a little bit of a different look. I'm just hot gluing these directly on to the needles. And sometimes they look like they might not stay, so you have to either reposition them or just fold one over on itself. Don't forget the inside areas. And I just like to shift it around, go back and forth, and that way I can get even distribution. And this is what I call a compact wreath. So there's not going to be a lot of dimension to this wreath. It's just going to be very compact. Compact wreaths are one of the easiest wreaths to master. You don't have to worry about how far out to come. You know, it's just, however, I feel like you probably need a little more product when you do a compact wreath, you know, because it's not so much air and space between each flower. So it's more product that you need, but it's really easy to do. Kim wants to plant honeysuckle. Honeysuckle. Now, doesn't that take over like a weed? I know it grows on like a vine. We used to have honeysuckle in our old yard, growing on our privacy fence. Or was that yellow jasmine? I think that was yellow jasmine, now that I think about it, which is really pretty. All right, I'm going to trim this even shorter. Put that a little bit closer. This wreath is wholesale, but you can purchase these wreaths from, you know, wherever you buy your craft stuff, your flower stuff. If that's Hobby Lobby or Michael's. Here we have Carolina Pottery. Sometimes go to your local garden center, because even your garden centers will be selling these artificial wreaths too. All right, let me do, since I've already cut them up, let me just go ahead and fill them in. Let's put one right there. It's taking on its own personality, says Kim. Honeysuckle does smell like summer. So to sign up for the beginner wreath making class, just go to wreath101.com. to learn more information. Again, it's for beginner makers, so if you've been making for a while, this is probably not the course for you. But maybe you've just got the wreath bug and you're like, I need to dive deeper into this craft. All right, so here is, now look, how pretty is that? Y'all, you can stop right here if you wanted and have a really pretty wreath. Very simple, very minimalist. So that's another trendy word right now, isn't it? A minimal looking decor. I'm missing all of your comments. They're going so fast. It's not lamb's ear, Lisa. Hey girl, how are you? How have you been? I have missed you so much. Dang this COVID, right? It is called Veronica, but it reminds me of lamb's ear, and that's why I like it. It's very pretty, the coloring. It's a blue-green. So I think with lamb's ear, you can get blue-green. There's probably like a darker lime green. And with artificial flowers, you can get greenery pretty much any color now. So I think there's even a purple version, but I don't know if a purple version really grows in the wild. All right, so here's that. The other thing that I have, remember what I said you can add are pine. So we've got some long needle pine that has this frosty glitter. So this came from Greenery Market, this pine. We used it on a wreath recently in our Wreath of the Month Club group. Let me show you this wreath that we did in our Wreath of the Month Club group last night. How pretty is this? This just screams winter, doesn't it? With a pretty little winter base and our snowman. And we've got it on our grapevine wreath. Turned out really, really cute. I love this. We did this, I designed this and taught how to make this last night in our Wreath of the Month Club group. And I think we used some of this in that wreath as well. So this is from Greenery Market. I told you now is the time to stock up on the pines. Everybody's selling their Christmas at a discount. And so that's when I like to stock up for this because it goes all winter. We can use it all winter. Not just for Christmas. Oh, Laura, she says my YouTube videos are what helped her get started. That is awesome. Learning so much. Oh, thanks, Laura. Just going to divide all of these out. We're going to do the same exact thing. All right, so we have our pieces, right? We're just going to give a little bit of a bend, and we're going to add this into our wreath. So if you are stuck at home because of quarantine, or maybe you're on a shutdown, now is a good time to pick up a hobby that you might want to try something new. A lot of people are starting with the wreath making. You'll be having wreaths on your door for all the seasons, all the holidays. Everybody will want a wreath from you. Your church friends will be like, hey, can you make that wreath for the church doors? Your friends will be like, can I buy that wreath off your door? That's exactly what happened with me. right, so I'm just going to shift this around. Ouch. I hit some glue on my hand. All right, here we go. Let's go here. Just going to evenly space this around. I love these little pieces that have the pine cones on them. Kim says, I just opened my Etsy shop. I have sold 4 wreaths and working on custom orders, all thanks to Julie. Oh my gosh. Kim, that made my day. My wreath business has completely transformed my life. It really has given me purpose just to be able to make people happy with my God-given talent. It has really helped my depression. I don't know about y'all, but I know depression is, you know, very common. It used to be something we didn't talk about in my family. But I suffer from depression, and it's really just helped me to have a purpose in life and get out of bed. And so my wreath business has helped not only my customers have a beautiful home to come home to after a busy day, but it's also helped me as much as it's helped them. Just gluing in the pine cone part now. Remember, pine cones are part of nature. Y'all hear my husband in there hacking? Oh, bless him. Until we got that negative COVID test, I was wearing a mask around the house. Can't be too careful. All right, look. Do you see how we've added in another color now? Isn't that pretty? The browns of the pine cone with that blue-green look. It's just yummy. Lindsay, the best online store for wreath supplies. I'm going to be very honest. I know a lot of people think I'm just blowing off this question, but I don't think there's just one. And some of the other wreath makers can chime in if they want. There's a favorite, obviously, of certain things, like a favorite place for a sign or a favorite place for, you know, the silk flower, sunflower wreath or sunflowers, or the favorite place for ribbon and, you know, things like that. So it really just depends on what you're trying to shop for. And so that's one of the things I put in my Wreath 101 is my favorite places to shop for my elements. Okay, so now look at this. All right, so here again, at this stage of the game, you can stop with your wreath. Y'all, the secret to beautiful designer wreaths is layering. All right, at any point, at any layer, you can stop when you like what you see, but we're just going to add a little bit more. Look at this. Isn't this pretty? It's very icy. It reminds me of those winter days here in South Carolina when they say we're going to get 5 inches of snow, and we wake up after we bought all of the bread and all of the milk, and we wake up and there's ice everywhere. I'm like, there is no snow. No snow, just ice. We do not get snow here. So if they say it's going to snow, be very skeptical. Just going to divide these off. These came from Greenery Market. I've got 2 of these. Sometimes I mostly like to use 3s, but I think I only had 2 of these left. These winter wreaths are another great wreath to make when you're trying to use up some of your Christmas supplies and you don't want to have to store it from one season to the next. You know, supplies can take up some room. All right, we're just going to go through. It's more long needle pine. You're welcome, Tony. The Hubs is not better, Jane. Well, he's feeling better, but he still has a cough. You're welcome, Bethany. She says, because of your videos, I'm finally brave enough to take the leap. Oh my gosh, and start a business. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is awesome. I love it. I'm like, if I could be a business owner, I started, you know, I was a stay-at-home mom, didn't have a college degree or anything. Well, I mean, I did have a lot of drive. But I just really feel like if anybody has that drive inside of them, that gut, that feeling, that little burning desire that they were meant for something different than what they've got now, that's what it was for me. And I've always been a go-getter, but his really, I just love waking up in the morning, not having to go get in my freezing cold car. All I have to do is feed the dogs, drink my coffee, and head to work playing with ribbon and glitter. Who's going to Dallas Market Center in January? Nancy, you were a COVID couple. Oh, goodness. I hope you're recovered. All right, so let's see. I'm going to just find a place for this one. We're going to do it on the inside. Switch it around. Who thinks they can make this? I'm dipping my glue in my glue pan. You can use your hot glue gun. But if you're going to put it outside, you want to put glue. All right, I do have these. I think this is pretty. Oh my goodness. This is very, very pretty. And then I also have this. So I'm just going to pull it over. And I'm not going to use this one because this one has the lime green in it. It looks a little more yellow, which would throw off the coloring here. But I do like this flocked one. I think I'm going to use some of this. Again, you could stop here if you want. What do you do if you don't like placement after gluing? So you just pull it out. That's a great question. I have done that many times. Y'all, just to warn you, when I start to deal with flocked, I get the sneezes and the sniffles. I guess I'm allergic to it. Well, Jennifer, if you go, I hope I see you there. Creative Designs is planning on going. All right, let's skip this. Added. Remember, guys, if you want to be notified when we do our lives, make sure you click that subscribe and follow. Bonnie says she's gonna give it a try. Rosa, Dallas Market Center is for wholesale. It's for wholesalers, where wholesalers are, and buyers, which would be, you know, me as a business. I can go and place orders. I don't take it out of the door. So it's just a place to go take orders. So I'm just going to pull this one out because it looks like to me it's upside down. And it was irritating me. There. All right, let's see. Where am I going to put? Let's go ahead and add this one over here. We'll add these little ones in between here. All right, I'm just going to turn it a little bit more. What are y'all thinking of the flocked? Just going to hold this one together. It's a little thicker, a little heavier. Oh goodness. Jasper, you okay? Sometimes you think he's a cat. Goodness. He's got that collapsed trachea and just starts coughing randomly. Sounds like a cat with a hairball. I am going to add these white balls. I'm just getting all this greenery off first. So my goal is to always have my Christmas presents match the theme of my tree. I know that sounds very crazy when we have so much going on in the world, but these little things like that just make me happy. Are you OCD about your Christmas presents? I'm just going to hold it up. And look where I need to put some more white. Okay, and then we have our sticks that we're going to put going to wrap this one needle around that, not get burned. Love this. These little branches, I love those. Tanya, you have a little puppy. What's its breed? Oh my goodness. Look at those branches. How pretty is that? The branches have a little bit of the brown from the pine cones. Speaking of the pine cones, we've got some more. Gail, this will hold up to the weather when it's if it's covered. So if your door has a little bit of an overhang, then this will be fine. But if it's not, if it doesn't have any overhang, I probably would take it in, you know, if there's going to be a lot of rain and wind and stuff like that. Now, if you're a wreath maker, you just make yourself a new wreath whenever you want. All right, I'm just going to bend this a little bit. Make sure they're not sticking out too far. All right, here are, so we've got still these, remember these little berries? They were on that one. Let's go ahead and add these. Isn't that pretty? It is very elegant. So this is Bethany sticks to sticks to a theme for the gifts. I love that. So these, so what was I going to say? These to me are just very beautiful. It's an elegant wreath. Number one, what makes it elegant is the texture. So texture is very important. I tell my Wreath of the Month Club group all the time. You've got to have your 5 elements. Have one of the wreaths that just look, ooh, wow. The name of this wreath, Jean, would be a winter wreath. Oh, I dropped it in the glue. Oh, let me move that. It's too close to that white one. Let's see if I can get it out of there without making too much of a mess. Let me hold that right here. It's so pretty. I love the texture, the coloring. The blue-green is just really pretty. I love that the wreath base started off with not an evergreen wreath, which added to the frosty look. And there's a little bit of a glue where I dropped it, and we're just going to cover that up. Nobody can see it now. There is nothing you can't fix with glue, y'all. I even fixed my daughter's prom dress with hot glue before. She had it on, going out the door, and something fell off, and I'm like, don't worry. Mama's got it. I've got one more piece. I think, actually, well, maybe we could get that. I think these are too small to add. Okay. Let's see if I can zoom out and show you. Now, I did pull over some other ornaments. So if you wanted to add, more little of these snowballs, you could. I think I'm done. I think I'm going to walk away. I think it looks pretty just like it is. But you can continue layering as much as you want until you feel like this is the wreath that you want, right? So everybody can make their wreaths the way they want to, make whatever colors you need to make it for. Like if you need to match your door, your shutters, or your whimsical Christmas decorations, or you just need a wreath for the winter months so that your door doesn't look naked. But these right here are my solution to that. It's a winter wreath idea, so I love how it turned out. Don't forget to join our Wreath 101 course. If you want to learn more about the art of wreath making, you can learn all about the elements, mechanics, your workstation supplies, where to get them, coloring, more about the silk flowers, the bushes versus stems, what to look for when you buy flowers and things like that. So here's the back, and here's the front. So elegant. This just turned out really pretty, and this is the time I'm like, do I keep it for myself or do I list it in my Etsy shop? Because I love it so much. It would look amazing on my door. You guys, I hope I inspired you to try something new, to reach outside your comfort zone. I think you can do this. I think you can do this, right? This is a compact wreath idea. You just start with an evergreen wreath and make it to whatever you want and design it the way you want. All right, so don't be afraid to start and just try. You are an inspiration to me. I hope I'm an inspiration to you as well. Make sure to subscribe, like this video. It tells the algorithm that, you know, this video was good. So make sure to like the video, subscribe, and let me know how I can serve you for the next video, okay? Cindy says, I want it. The texture is amazing. Yes, Jennifer. You're welcome, Nancy. Thanks, Maureen. Aw, thank you guys. Thank you all so much. Have a wonderful rest of your week, and I'll see you later on the next video.